Hi everyone, so I want to hop on here and do a quick pan those palettes. I have an eye palette, I have a face palette, and I have a lip palette that I'm panning this year. And I've kind of rolled them in like at different times, but I feel like I wanted to share my progress on all of them. Some are good, some are bad, some I have some updates on. So let me go ahead and share. Let's do my lip palette first. Oh, and before I start, the few videos that I'm filming, like these this week. My hands are really gross, and so I'm really sorry if you see some things weird about them. I'm recovering from just an illness I just got through, and it went after my hands, and now it's peeling. So TMI, but if they look weird, that's why. I'm gonna do my best to like kind of hold products close to you without grossing you out. But if you see that they look weird, that's why. So try not to pay too much attention to them, I guess. But if you're like wondering what's going on, I promise I'm not sick anymore. My skin is healing. I'm letting my body trying to do its thing, but it just looks crazy while it's in the process. So yeah, anyways, lip palette first. The last update, I think I shared that I it was trying to hit side pan on these two, and I successfully did that. Some nice side pan there. And honestly, they're about even now. I would say if I like mashed all of it on one side, it would honestly be like literally half of the pan. And so I feel really, really proud of that progress. And yeah, I hope to like keep going with that. Um, the top one here, I've continued to kind of expand that pan, and that's nicely expanding. Right now, because of my whole finger hand situation, I really can't be dipping into products with my fingers like I used to. So I have to take a break from, I think, using this one and this one for at least a few weeks while my fingers heal. But I think I've made a decent amount of progress that I'm okay with that. Um, I did challenge myself in my deck of panning to use this red one, which is like so intimidating to me. And as you can see, I have a little bit of a red lip on today, trying to use that one up a little bit. But honestly, I'm just doing my best to kind of just work through that. Not work through it, but like work with it and use up what I can, enjoy it for what it is. But I don't honestly have a desire for a red lip in my collection in any capacity. So I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is this year. And then I am like decluttering this entire palette by the end of the year. And just because of how old the formula is, but it's still been performing well, so I've appreciated that. um so that's kind of my update there. For the next update, I guess I want to finish my uses for deca painting on this one. I do want to hop back on these two shades and like continue to make good progress on it. Honestly, I will be going to Lip Lab sooner than I know it will be time to go. And I definitely want only like a sliver of product in there by the time I go, like really just like barely a corner hanging on so that I can maybe dupe it at Lip Lab. Um, but we'll kind of see. So I definitely want to continue to make progress that way. I'm working through another lip product right now for deck of panning. And so once I'm done with that, I think I'm going to hop back onto these two shades and be using that more frequently. So for my eye palette, I'm using the Haus Labs volume 2, the super neutrals. It's kind of like her more cool tone version. And I honestly, I've used it now for about almost 6 months. And I've used it frequently, like almost every day. And I think I've gotten it to the point where it's kind of breaking down on me, unfortunately. A lot of things are crumbling, so you're gonna see that. And I'm gonna kind of tell you what's going on with each shade. So the top one's always just kind of a wash. I'm not focusing on that one for this project. Okay, let me see if I can hold this without blinding you guys. Okay, so this pink shade, as you can see, a lot of it's gone. I had the goal of hitting side pan over here, and I did that. But honestly, at this point, I'm literally scooping it out with like a cuticle pusher. I promise cuticle pusher's clean. But yeah, I'm literally scooping it out and like spreading it on the back of my hand whenever I'm doing a blush cocktail because it's just so difficult to get out with my fingers. I can't really use a brush in there. Also, you can see in some of the corners it's starting to chip away, like right there. And that's just honestly with just how heavy this packaging is and how it closes. If you hear it, it's so loud. And I think it impacts the formula. And I just find bits and pieces crumbling everywhere almost every few times I open it. I try to push it in, but the formula is really soft and almost like, I think there's like some skincare element to this too. So I just don't know if this formula is built for such heavy use. To be honest, it looks really, really nice in the pan, has great payoff, but I think in terms of the way I'm using it, I think it's getting challenged. So I'm gonna use up as much as I can. It is a really pretty shade, but honestly, I can do without the shade. I've done very long without the shade. I can do without. I obviously use it as a blush, not as an eyeshadow. So it's not like an eye color that I gravitate towards. But I'll use it up for what I can and what it's worth. And if it does chunk off, I've been trying to push it back in, but honestly, no guarantees. Sometimes I end up throwing the chunk away or it falls into my counter and I have to wipe it away and things like that. So it's kind of, I'm just kind of letting it run its course, and unfortunately, it's not getting used up in the most ideal way that I would have liked to. The next one's similar. I think it's a very similar formula. This really shimmery formula there, and actually, such huge chunks came off of it. I don't know if you can see how much of it, like this whole side, actually came off. I ended up putting it into my MAC paint pot in Groundwork. So as you can see here, there's much shimmerier than it used to be, and that's because I actually popped all the chunks in there, and with just how soft the formula is, it honestly works just fine. I just kind of like mix everything together while I'm using it on my brush, and it seems to be fine. So I think if this chunks off more, I'm probably just going to push more in there, or if once I run out of whatever's in the paint pot right now, I'll probably just end up scooping out the rest in there, and because it's actually been a really, really nice way of using it. And then the final three, like matte shades, I did hit side pan on this. Very proud of that. Honestly, side pan is like really hard to like dig to get to, so I'm glad I got that. And then this one, I went ahead and I'm starting just like use it up organically. Same thing here. I'm just continuing to try to work at it. I use these two pretty much mixed together daily. This one I haven't actually touched as much. I've only used a few times, but I've been focusing on some other deeper shadows that I have, and so that one hasn't gotten as much focus. So I would say trying to figure out goals for next time. I would say I think I'm gonna give myself a little bit of break from this. I'll keep using these two and seeing how much use I can get out of those. But I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself to like really meet some goals. I guess if I had to say something, it'd probably be like get those corners out of there and start really working on this main part here. That might be kind of my main goal here. I would love to hit more pan on here. It's just a really stiff formula for some reason, so it just keeps like kind of, sometimes it's clumping out, sometimes it's just kind of doing weird things with the brush. So that's what's going on with my eye palette. And then the last thing I introduced last time was this face palette from Sleek. And I had mentioned that this is a bronzer that is really, really dark and deep, and I use it a lot in my bronzer cocktails. But because of my whole finger situation, I've unfortunately had to take a break from making bronzer cocktails. So that one is getting a break right now. I might try to pull it out as like an eyeshadow maybe for a little bit. I just feel like I'm so close to pan, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. It's a really big pan. In terms of the cream blush though, I am still trying to make headway on this. And I think since the last update, I have actually repressed everything back in the center, and just like by the nature of a cream product, it just ends up that I like push out the product every time I use it with my brush. So it doesn't have pan now, but I think I'm getting close. I don't know if the light hitting it, you can tell there's some indents there from the bottom of the pan. It kind of has like a square indent in the middle, so I'm getting close to hitting pan again and again. I'll probably just scoop everything in the middle and like keep on going. So yeah, making progress. And so yeah, that's my 3 palettes and where they're at. Not a huge ton of progress. I've reached some goals, thankfully, and but I feel like for at least the next few months, it might be a little bit more slow going. You might not see as much progress, but I promise I'll keep touching them and, having them out so that I'll see them and try to work on them when I can. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope that if you're working on any palettes that you're making good headway on them. We're almost to the, oh gosh, I don't want to say we're almost in the middle of the year, but we kind of almost are. Whenever April hits, I'm like, oh, May, and then June. So we're almost in the middle of the year. So I feel like I hope that everyone is feeling like they're making good progress and just about, halfway to their goals. So wishing you the best of luck. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.